What do you think of when you think of a home? A door, two windows, a garden. Is this a home? Yes. But so is this. And this. 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 These are all types of homes in Los Angeles. This is what LA used to look like. This is what it looks like now. Our many wonderful industries have brought thousands of new people to this city. Population is growing and growing and growing. Our housing market can't keep up. What does that look like for us? High rent, high rates of homelessness, long commutes. The pace of LA development no longer works. So where do we go from here?
There's so many dimensions to the housing crisis. It's not a solution that can be implemented to actually fix it with one element.
I think it's hard sometimes for people to realize or imagine what an affordable housing project really looks like.
And that's where we have this misconception, in my opinion. But we can get there, but we just have to continue to have that dialogue.
Draw an affordable housing complex.
Instead of developing high-rise and expensive condos, we need to be developing affordable, denser housing projects. Pasadena Studios is our latest development. It's 181 units. It was very innovative for the city of Pasadena. They had come up with a concept to build micro units, and only one person lives in them. Then we put a lot of common area in the building. We have a rooftop deck. We have a big lobby. One of the major benefits that allowed Pasadena Studios to be built was when the city of Pasadena changed its zoning laws.
The history of zoning in Los Angeles is like anything in housing, complicated. LA zoning laws started in 1904 as a way to keep manufacturing areas separate from residential neighborhoods. As time went on, the laws were manipulated and weaponized to reinforce racist and classist ideology. For example, after World War II, when many immigration restrictions were lifted, Los Angeles became one of the most diverse cities on the planet. This scared white landlords. They used zoning laws to restrict the construction of dense housing options. Now that developers could no longer build up, they built outward. By the year 2000, over 75% of the city only allowed for construction of single-family homes. And this is the urban sprawl that we see in Los Angeles today.
So that sprawl that's happened has made it so that, people don't live where they work often. You're not going to be able to afford a house in Pasadena or rent in Pasadena if you're a middle manager, you're a teacher, firefighter, policeman. So people have to live in outlying areas and they have to drive in, which obviously is not good for the environment, not good for the family life. And by going up, which LA has gone out for 80 years, I'd say 90% of the land is single story or two story. And what we have to do is build up. So instead of a two-story apartment building, we go to 5 stories. In some areas, maybe 8 stories, if it's an appropriate setting for it. If it's near transit, it's on major thoroughfares. I think the power of the affordable housing side of things, if used right, can stop a lot of the gentrification that has gone on.
The construction of market-rate apartments often leads to gentrification of the neighborhood, especially when the developers do not take into account the needs of the existing community.
Anything that is new is often looked upon as gentrification and moving people out and discouraging local people from being able to stay in the neighborhood or their children or grandchildren. Part of our commitment to being anti-gentrification is building back the middle class base.
Dense housing does not have to be ugly. It doesn't have to take over a town. It provides community and safety to residents without fear of being pushed out of their own city.
So there are a lot of misconceptions about affordable. And I think the one aspect that we have to continually educate folks, and we call them NIMBYs, not in my backyard. It's a traditional acronym that connotes somebody who doesn't want to see units built in that particular neighborhood or location. And it's our job as the developer to really go in my opinion now, and have these meetings about the vision that we foresee for adding value to their neighborhood. And I say adding value because it does add value.
You know, the biggest thing we could do to end this crisis is to build enough homes. We need to build across the spectrum of housing types, but in our view, the biggest area that we need to focus on is the low-income and moderate-income apartments, because that will really help put people back into homes.
Together we can fix this. We just need to make the decision to give affordable housing the chance.